Other than the mystery train, which we'll hopefully see later, otherwise I'll explain it. If I remember, actually, I might forget. So I might talk about it now while we wait for Daisy to use this hammer. Basically, if the red boos are not out, boos will arrive at that spot and actually carry you to specific spots on the board. There are specific areas where the train can go, and it'll drop you off, basically. So it can actually take you to the upper right corner of the map, or I think one of the lower, like, middle areas as well. It's a very good way to get around the board quickly if the red boos are not available. Otherwise, you're having to rely on foot traversal, which is a little bit slower. The top right corner also has the only 3 happening spaces in the entire board, meaning this is one of the rarer boards for the happening star to even show up on, and coincidentally, I think we just got one. Two minutes until Big Boo appears. Okay, another 4-player minigame, all ones we've seen. And even more button mashing. I think I talked about this a little bit last board, but my hand has not been feeling great, and I feel like it's partly just because of how much button mashing you have to do in this game. At least that's a fairly short minigame. So what that happening space does, since we'll not see what it actually does in game. By the way, for story mode, the boards are capped at 15 turns. In party mode, which is like the free play mode, you can set the turns all the way up to 50 turns. I think it goes in increments of 10 turns from 10 to 50. I feel like your odds of seeing Big Boo are much higher if it's a longer game, but because of how remote the happening spaces are, yeah, your odds of actually seeing this in game are very low, unfortunately. I've never seen it because I typically only play story mode, so I don't think I've ever seen what Big Boo does. From what I understand, it kind of works similarly to Big Boo in Mario Party 2, for Horrorland, where basically you can steal a ton of coins from everybody or something like that. But again, I've never seen it firsthand because, yeah, the odds of landing on 2 specific happening spaces in the top quadrant of the board that might not even be accessible because of the red boos, yeah, your odds of that aren't high. Congratulations, Yoshi. Would you like to trade coins for a star? Well, here's your star. Here's the next star. Star's over here now. Do your best to get this one. By the way, the little tombstones, like the ones in the corner, I think those mark the drop-off points for the mystery train. You found a hidden block. What great fortune! There was a star inside the hidden block. I am really not used to the game being this nice to me, so I'm really wondering what's going to go awry in the late game. I literally just noticed something for the first time. The character models are actually stored at the top of the screen before they start skiing, so I could see like Yoshi like just sort of peeking in from the top of the screen before his character model actually started moving. It makes sense. I feel like on like a CRT, you're not really supposed to see that much detail, but when upscaled like this, you can actually see it more clearly. By the way, this is actually being played on the real GameCube through an upscaler. We definitely need as many coins as we can get, considering the star keeps appearing in front of us. Yeah, this is like my second GameCube, which was from like 2006 or something, right before the Wii came out. Basically, my GameCube died, and I talked about this. I did a GameCube retrospective last November, and I talked about that. Oh, great! I knew this was going too smoothly, but hey, Daisy has no coins, so we're fine. It's better than DK trading places with Daisy, or with us, because then he could have actually avoided the star, or Waluigi for that matter. So yeah, it could have been a lot worse, to be honest. One problem now is we're past the mystery train, so we actually can't get over to the right side of the board. So we actually have to go all the way around, which isn't ideal, but again, at least that means no one's getting to the star anytime soon. I think Waluigi has the best shot now, depending on where he is. Yeah, this is actually like my second GameCube. It's still working pretty well. Again, it does feel like the game is slowing down at certain points, like Paratrooper Plunge. I noticed there's a bit of slowdown in that minigame specifically, but beyond that, it actually seems pretty smooth. And I'm running this through a RetroTink Mini, which is like a custom upscaler. Highly recommended. Though I don't think this particular one is available anymore, but there are other ones that can actually do more like composite or component upscale as well. This one only does composite or S-Video, which I'm running this through S-Video. Anyway, one more 1v3. If I'm remembering correctly, this is our last 1v3 that we haven't seen, Fish and Chips. It feels like every Mario Party has a minigame like this, and every time it's horribly unbalanced for the three. So DK has to basically put in 6 inputs. We have to put in 3 inputs shared across all 3 team members. If you have good synergy, and if the AI decides to cooperate, it's actually really easy for the 3 to win, and much harder for the 1 to win. But again, most 1v3s in this series are extraordinarily unbalanced, and this is no exception. Yeah, DK is really falling behind. I don't think he has any chance of catching up, unless the AI messes up on our team. So yeah, it really shows how few minigames there are, since I'm pretty sure that's the last 1v3, unless I'm forgetting something. I feel like if you hear the term, like, 60 minigames, it sounds like a lot, and frankly, it is still a lot. But it isn't actually as much as it sounds because of dividing everything into subcategories. Because you have, you know, say hypothetically you have like 20 4-player minigames and like, you know, 10 2v2 minigames. It creates a problem of when you get to the categories with really small numbers of minigames, like 1v3s, you see the same 1v3 minigames come up constantly. I wonder if Daisy's going through the upper path and if we will see a micro game. We will not see a micro game. I don't think it's actually called a micro game, that's WarioWare. But yeah, like a board minigame is what I You can play a little piano, a little QTE, essentially. I call it a QTE, but I don't think QuickTime events are really a thing at this point in time. I'm actually toying about what to do, because look at that happening space gauntlet, but also we have 0 chance of actually getting to the star. I'm going to use this anyway, in the chance that I might be able to play Boo's minigame on the right if I roll a 5. If I roll a 3, I'm not going that way, because that is a chance time. Yeah, we're not going that way for chance time. Bowser is preferable to chance time. I am one of the Koopa kids. What kind of dastardly deeds can I do today? Okay, I'll just take 20 coins from all of you. Why? Because I can. Gwahaha. Haha, later. That's actually perfect, because now Waluigi can't use his magic lamp. That worked out really well, surprisingly. Never mind. Remember what I said about jinxing? Yeah, I feel like I should not say things like that. Overall, I also feel like later Mario Party scaled items in a way that I think in some ways makes sense, but also creates a very different, like, meta, if that makes sense. Like, I almost feel like magic lamps come up to an obnoxious degree in this game, where, like, you can very easily get magic lamps, and sometimes it can feel very unbalanced. Like in Superstars as an example, a more recent example, but even like Mario Party 5, the magic lamp equivalent, like, never comes up. I've seen it maybe, like, twice in my life. But it feels a lot more balanced, but also shakes up the game less if it doesn't come up very often. So I can see both sides of the argument. It's always weird when you have like 90 coins and everyone else is like single digits before that minigame. Oh, Waluigi still can't afford the lamp. He can now, unless we, like, somehow steal coins from him, which I don't think we can. Daisy's the closest to a battle game, but I don't think she got it. This board is probably one of the most square, or rectangular, because other than the chance time route to the right, I'm pretty sure this board is perfectly symmetrical. Like, with the way the paths are set up, you have, like, 2 paths. Like, you don't go the same routes through them, obviously. Okay, that's lucky. But yeah, I feel like this is one of the more symmetrical boards, not accounting for things like, you know, mini mushroom hypes and pink boo routes and things like that. The boards do definitely feel a little bit simpler than some of the other games. Again, partly because they're not integrated into the actual background, so it ends up feeling a little bit less unique in some ways. We aren't getting the start anyway, I'm not overly concerned about that. Another 4-player minigame. Let's see if we are not unlocking something new. But we are playing Booksquirm again, which I will never oppose. I don't know if I mentioned it, but there is an endless version that you can unlock, and there is actually an unlock for clearing 15 pages, if I'm not mistaken. That is actually really easy. I feel like, you know, after playing Superstars, where there's like a ranking system, I feel like 15 pages is kind of nothing. Alright, I guess we won. I do feel like the AI gets very turned around in this mini game, so it's not overly challenging unless you turn up the difficulty.